Hello there. Welcome to DoYogaWithMe's Yoga Explained. This episode is on reciprocal inhibition. Before I get into that, my name is David Precision. I am the founder of DoYogaWithMe. And this series of videos are tutorials on how to understand yourself, yoga, and different aspects of yoga better, like anatomy. And whether you're a student or a teacher, learning as much as you can benefit you in your daily life, in your practice, and when you're teaching. So reciprocal inhibition is one concept of a yoga teacher training program. It's a concept within ours. In fact, it's part of a couple courses. The anatomy of muscles and connective tissue, and anatomy of the nervous system, and you'll see links to those. Reciprocal inhibition is described as the one muscle that's activated causes its opposite to release. So an easy example, you can do this anywhere in your body, but easy example would be the wrist. You contract it this way, the muscles on the other side release. So these muscles contract, those release. You can do it with your fingers, your neck, all different directions, your arms. So whatever bone is moving, the muscle that's making it move, its opposite, the nervous system releases. Okay? So we're going to apply this to the lunge and also describe why this is important in terms of stability. Because when you're in a certain pose and you want to maximize your potential to stretch while doing it safely, creating stability for your body, you want to know what muscles to optimally have on and which muscles are ideal to release. Okay? So lunge is a good example. It's a pretty simple pose, right? You're shifting forward into the lunge. You feel the stretch in the front of your thigh, so your hip flexors are stretching. And they aren't always on, but ideally you have the muscles at the back on, so your glute and your hamstring. Okay, in my classes often, before people even move into a lunge, or warrior one's the same, I get them to poke their butt cheek on the side of the leg that's down or back. Poke it to make sure that that muscle's on, so the muscle's clenched, and the same idea with your hamstring. So you do that by squeezing the glute. You're actually pushing the leg bone back. It's like you're running, you're pushing off of that foot. That's the feeling that you want. That leg is pushing back before you move into the lunge, before you move into warrior one. Okay, so don't even move into the lunge. Poke your glute, turn it on, push the leg back. Now, a lot of people start to feel a cramp here, and that is an indication that you're doing it right. So that's number one, you're doing it right. Number two, these muscles are not used to turning on. That's why you're getting a cramp. So you can kind of work into it. Every time you do warrior one or a lunge or any pose like this, turn it on until maybe you feel like a cramp is coming on, then turn it off. And then over time, you'll be able to turn it on for longer, and then you'll just be able to turn it on for as long as you want. Okay, so turn it on. Sorry if this is lasting too long. And then move into the lunge and see if you can keep it on the whole time. Okay, and then come back out. So reciprocal inhibition is you're turning these back muscles on, which releases the front muscles and prepares them, gets them ready to stretch. Then you move into the stretch, keeping these muscles on, and you allow the hip flexors to let go. Okay, why don't we switch sides so that we give the legs a break and try it again. Don't move into the stretch yet. Turn on your glute, turn on your hamstrings like you're pushing off that foot. And then keep it on, keep it on, keep it on as you move into the lunge. And then come back out. And again, keep it on, keep it on, keep it on as you move into the lunge. And then come back out. Okay, let's apply it to a slightly different pose. Really simple transition. Just move that front foot forward a little bit. So this is going to be a hamstring stretch now. So it's the exact opposite of what we're doing. So you flip the muscles around, okay? And then we're bringing the calf into this as well. So straighten that leg. I should have told you could hold on to something if you're quite precarious with your balance here. So to stretch the back of your leg, back of the thigh, back of the calf, you engage the muscles in the front, okay? So let's start at the bottom just because it's easier. So you do that by lifting your toes. So the shin muscles engage, toes lift, and that releases the calf. And then to do it in the front of the thigh, you lift your kneecap, press your leg bone down. Okay, lift the toes, press the leg bone down. I'm having trouble balancing here too. Place your hand on your thigh to get your balance and then come forward over that leg. And that's how you get the stretch. Okay, and make sure that you keep it on. So you keep lifting the toes, keep pressing the thigh bone down, and then come back up again. Okay, let's switch to the other side and just do the hamstring stretch. Feel free to position yourself differently. Pause the video if you need to. Sometimes I'll put blocks there or a chair for my students. Okay, straighten that leg. Engage the front of your leg, so lift the toes, press the thigh bone down, lift your kneecap. So the quadricep lifts your kneecap, that's the muscle at the front, and then come into the stretch. Ooh, feeling a little wobbly. It's a good stretch. Keeping those muscles at the front on the whole time, and then come back up. Come back out. Okay, reciprocal inhibition. See if you can apply that in a yoga practice. Just identify, it's going to happen 100 times more throughout one class, hundreds of times throughout a class, where you're moving into something, you're recognizing the muscles that are moving you into the pose and the muscles that you need to release, okay? Or the muscles you need to create stability, and creating the stability, which muscles are stretching. Over and over and over again. See if you can recognize that and see if you can turn on those muscles to create the stability, the movement, holding the body in that position, and the release. Thank you for joining me. There's a link to our teacher training program. If you want to check it out, click on it and check out more of our Yoga Explained videos. I look forward to seeing you again.